I've noticed something interesting about interacting with people is that, especially with people who have like are higher rank than you or higher status than you in terms of their job. So you're talking to a manager or a CEO or a supervisor, or someone has a very fancy job, or like a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. I've noticed that when you act or when you pretend to be dumb, or when you pretend to not know everything, or when you don't show off, it kind of eliminates a lot of problems in your life when you interact with these kinds of people. So let me explain. So if you're that type of guy, if you're a person who is very intelligent, let's say if you're interacting with somebody, right? They may have a different job status than you or whatever, but you are technically more intelligent than them, or more qualified than them, more educated than them. Or if you dress better, but you're say you're an employee, you go out for an employee lunch, right? And you dress, you dress really well, right? But the supervisor or the manager may not dress very well, not have a sense of fashion. But I've noticed that when you show your intelligence to somebody, or when you dress better than somebody, people get jealous, bro. People become intimidated by your presence, especially if you're the type of person that is constantly trying to improve in every aspect of their life, whether it's physical activity, they want to improve your physique. You're constantly getting educated. You're constantly you're grooming yourself. You're trying to look good when you go out in public. You just have a radiating confidence about yourself. A lot of people get intimidated by that, and when they do, they get jealous of you, and it also can cause conflict with people, because they see you as a competition, as a competitor, and you're just being yourself. I mean, and that's the problem. Like sometimes when you're just being yourself, your charismatic self, your confident self, people still get intimidated by that. And in order to eliminate certain problems, and in order to not cause friction among certain people that you talk to, you gotta act stupid, man. Sometimes you just have to act dumb. You have to act like you don't know it all. Sometimes you have to dress down a bit, right? To give the other person a bit of spotlight, so they don't feel so intimidated, so that they're able to, so you become more approachable. And I know it's kind of counterintuitive. It's like you're not really being yourself. Like what the hell is this? What the hell does this solve? Who cares what people think? But man, I've noticed that you start getting, like, especially in a workplace environment, when you're interacting with certain people, you should never try to be in the spotlight all the time, because people get intimidated by you being in the spotlight. If you're the center of attention, the girls are constantly looking at you, or you are very a social person. You're talking to anybody. You dress really well. You smell really nice. You seem to have more knowledge than the other person. You're able to crack better jokes than your supervisor, right? Bro, that's gonna create a lot of problems, because if you're thinking about getting promoted in whatever corporation you're working for, say bye-bye to that, because that person will not even consider you, right? Because they see you as a threat. It's the same thing as when you apply for jobs and you're too overqualified for the job that you're applying for. Chances are you will not get the job. Sometimes you gotta bullshit your life just like how you bullshit your resume. And sometimes you gotta dumb it down a bit. You gotta dumb it down for certain people. And I know it sucks. It sucks that you have to dumb it down or sink to someone's level, but it can eliminate a lot of problems that can happen. And it's only with certain people, Some people love your aura. Some people love the fact that you dress well. Some people love the fact that you are charismatic. Some people love the fact that you are intelligent, and they want to learn from you, and they see you as inspiration. But I feel like people who are older, people who are like older than you, like say 10 years older than you, or even people who are on the same age gap as you, they see you as an enemy. They see you as competition. They see you as something that could disturb, that you are entering their territory. You're entering their spotlight, and that can cause friction, especially, as I said, if this is in a workplace environment. In public, I feel like who cares? You just do whatever you want. You know, be your charismatic self. Just be yourself. But I feel like at work, in the workplace, you have to behave a certain way in order for everyone to get along. You know, you can't fully express who you are. You know, for the most part, you have to behave a certain way, right? And that's what I've noticed. I've noticed that a lot with like people that I met over the years, is that a lot of people just get, especially like coworkers, they get intimidated by me sometimes because I don't know, because like of the way that I speak, my confidence, the aura that I bring, the energy that I bring. I've noticed that, and the thing is, they don't even need to tell me that. I can sense it. I can sense it about certain people, right? That they don't want me in their presence because of the fact that I bring this certain essence about me to, and I attract other people. I attract people around me that I talk to. And yeah, man, some people they purposely try to bring you down. Some people just purposely try to lower you. And when people try to do that, that's when you need to step up. That's when you need to stand up for yourself. When people actually purposely try to undermine you in front of others, or when they try to say negative things about you when you are around people, when they joke about you behind your back, you got to confront that problem. You got to deal with that problem, right? Obviously in a correct way, in an ethical manner, right? But yeah, the reality is that you have to, depending on who you're talking to, depending on the relationship that you have with that individual, you have to, you know, be a certain way, and don't try to be too yourself, you know, too amazing in the sense that, oh, that person just gets intimidated by that. But you know, it's kind of weird, right? It's like reverse psychology in a sense. But I've realized that when I act this way, like with certain people that I know get intimidated by me, that when I act more like stupid, or like I don't know what I'm doing, I pretend that I don't know what I'm doing, I seem like an innocent guy, and I seem more approachable, that I'm easier to work with, you know, that type of sense, that type of mentality. I know it's kind of a weird way of doing things. It's a weird way of thinking. I know many of you who are watching may not agree with this, but for me, that's what I've noticed though. That with certain people, I can't be too much of myself with certain people. Only with certain people that I know that I'm comfortable with, that don't get intimidated by me, I can be myself with. If that makes any sense. But yeah, see you next time.